What's good, guys, and welcome to another episode and I'm, of course, your host, DJ Sienna Chanel. I got my Glorilla voice on today, so, just bear with me. You know what I'm saying? Llama, big jump. Like, I'm going in my Glorilla bag today,
Absolutely.
so it's going to be extra, a raspy, a little deep, but we're going to get through this.
Yes, we will.
We have our first guest on the show today. This is my girl, Anya, the Passionologist.
Yes.
The Passionologist, and we're going to get into all of what a Passionologist means and what my girl does. She's got a little I was thinking of the purple Barney bag from back in the day. Yeah. She's got a little Barney bag here.
Yeah,
She's got a Barney bag, so
good.
she'll be looking in the Barney bag
Yes,
as we go through
yes.
this conversation. But yeah, so what's been up with you? It's good to see you looking good.
Thank you.
The smile that I'm seeing is look at her. Look. Oh, excuse me. How do I get some of that? Like, I love it.
I'll see if I can just pull some off me and just push it off to you.
Thank you. No, you already are. You already like making everything a little bit better. So I'm grateful to
absolutely.
that. So I just recently celebrated a birthday a little while ago. Yeah. And
Related.
thank you. And I'm okay. I don't care about the age thing. I know that some people do, but I don't care. I'm in my last year of my 30s. This is my last year. Yeah, thank you. I know. I'm doing a little bit of a midlife crisis thing, I think too. Like it's there in the back of my mind.
Kind of like touch on it a little bit. So
yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah. So I celebrated my birthday with a friend. It was nice.
Okay.
I went out to dinner. I hadn't done that in such a long time. Like actually chilled and someone paid for me. Like I'm a solo dolo girl all the time. So I'll like go out and just treat myself. I'll get my own glass of champagne for myself or I'll go shopping by myself. So this was one of the first times in many, many years that I've celebrated a birthday with a person. We'll go into more about the person, I guess, or where that is now later.
Okay.
But when do you celebrate your birthday? Or where are you in the birthdays? Are you in the 30s still? What's going on?
No, I'm actually in the 40s. Yeah.
You gotta tell me all about it. You gotta tell me all about
40 is 40 is different.
Yeah.
Like I felt like once I hit 40, initially I felt like, oh my God, I felt like everything's just gonna like fall apart a little bit.
Yes.
Because I had a little, health scare initially when I turned 40. But everything's okay now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just feel 40 is different. I think like 40, I just like really just felt like I came into my own more as a woman.
That is what I always hear about 40.
And just realized, yes, it just realized like it is what it is now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you normally celebrate birthdays? Because you see, I'm normally solo dolo, but I was with a person, let's say that, on my birthday.
Okay.
What do you normally do for birthdays?
The whole month.
Oh, I take one of those people. Oh my gosh. Like the entire month.
The whole month.
Multiple parties, multiple things
I take the whole season. Like literally, I'm a Leo.
So okay, so we're going we're gonna get
very, we're very like loud, boisterous.
You are.
Call me the extra one. I'm always, animated and do so. From July 23rd, my son's birthday, he actually kicks off Leo season. Okay. But July 23rd and definitely when August 1st hits, oh my God.
So you're an August Leo though?
I'm an August Leo, August 7th.
Oh, nice. So my son
43 this year.
What? Girl, you can't even say, look at this beautiful face and smile. Like, okay. Yes. So yes, no, wonderful. My son's a Leo too. So I know how y'all, my mama a Leo. So I know how y'all are.
Yeah.
Y'all cute. I like y'all. I like y'all as friends and family.
Yes, we get a bad rap.
In what way?
Oh my God, because people love to hate Leos for whatever reason. It's just like people just love to hate us. It's either they hate us or they love us. But sometimes it's like trying to find that in between balance. Like I said, we're loud, we're creative, we're very opinionated.
Y'all are very creative, I will say that.
But then we have that, like, you treat us good, we're like, great. What, you treat us bad?
Yeah. What I will say about Leos is y'all are very like typical lion vibe. Y'all very protective over the people that y'all, mess with, that y'all fuck with. I could curse. I'm trying to be like, who you mess with? No, who y'all fuck with.
Absolutely.
And yeah, y'all are such like protectors, providers, like they're great moms. Yes. They're great moms. I will say, y'all are super about the Cubs. Like y'all are all about that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cubs.
Yeah, you and your Cubs, y'all love the babies. You're very like awesome moms, and I don't know about you guys as dads, like or male Leo, so I don't want to go into that. No offense, I'm sure y'all are great dads too. I don't know, but yes, the moms are great.
I'm a helicopter mom. I finally realized that, and I'm like, I'm trying to pull back. And for those who really don't know what a helicopter mom is, like one of those moms that kind of like hovers a little bit over the kids. But I think it's because more so that, being married before and, being in a two-parent household and having that male father figure there. And then, the separation and then us not being together and then the boys living with me. I'm just nervous of how society is with young Black men. So I'm just that mom, like, I try to be protective.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to also realize boundaries.
Absolutely. Yeah. How old is your oldest?
My oldest will be 19.
Wow.
July. And my
one more high five because you're looking here.
He's Aries.
Oh, nice.
So he's gonna be 14.
Wow. So mine is right in between. I have a 16-year-old. So it's interesting. So since we're talking about like signs and all of that, is there a sign or how do you feel about like a person saying they won't date a person due to their zodiac sign?
I'm a firm believer.
Really?
I'm a firm believer in the zodiac.
Well, not that you're a firm believer in zodiac, that you're a firm believer in not dating someone based on the zodiac.
Yeah, I'm not. Let me tell you this. I'm never gonna date or marry another Virgo.
Oh, so I would never think that a Leo and a Virgo would work.
Oh no, I love it's crazy because I have like 4 like best friends that I consider like those are my best friends. And 2 of my best friends are Virgos, and we get along absolutely great
as friends.
I get along as female Virgos.
There we go.
Male Virgos I can't do. My ex-husband's a Virgo, so I'm just like.
And they say that that's like I'm a Capricorn, so that's why I just celebrate my birthday. Capricorn. But yes, so they say that that's like a match for us, Virgo. And I never ever ever come across or get Virgo men. It's so rare that I meet a Virgo man and that we like connect on another level.
Yeah.
They seem a little I'm gonna be real. Like Leo and Virgo to me are a little similar in certain ways. Just hear me out. Like y'all can be a little, and we'll talk about the men. We're gonna talk about y'all men folk for 1 minute. Like they seem a little braggadocious. Yes. And also like kind of full of themselves.
We are.
Right. Yeah. And then also a little picky, very kind of picky. I'll say that's more Virgo.
That's more Virgo.
Leo man.
Virgos.
But Virgo is a little picky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they could be super particular. And I think that for me, like even though we're a match, I'm a little more earthy. And you know what I mean? So I'm not balance. I'm not as particular about stuff. So
it's balance. Because sometimes you need that person who you might have similarities, but you also need somebody who's a little bit opposite of you so you can kind of like balance each other out. My zodiac match is Aries, and I call them Sagittarius.
So, okay. Let me just. So, here's my philosophy. I was just giving my philosophy to a homegirl of mine like this weekend. I think that, based on the signs of zodiac signs, but our elements, like what would work together to build something, to create something, to whatever. So, like, you're already a fire sign. So I feel like, yes, obviously other fire signs are going to work.
Yes.
And then I would also think that maybe, possibly, like water could work, water signs. And then maybe last but not least, like an air sign, but I don't know how far. But I would never think that like fire and earth would work together.
Yeah.
And I'm just, and this is, I don't have any type of like real research based on this at all. This is just how I feel. Yeah. So I think like with me, because I'm earth sign, I would always say like, yes, obviously like earth and earth will work together. Yeah. Then I think with water, like water signs, that's like, you know, we gonna build the mud. Makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? We could build something with that.
But once air hits the fire though,
yeah,
like I feel like
But it like, you know, air can like extinguish it. Yeah. And also it can like spread fire. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. So that's why I put it in that order. Like fire, 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 water, and then fire, air, and then like fire, earth. I don't think it is. You know what I'm saying? Because the fire signs for me, like, you know, Sag, I always say like, I don't know if it would ever work for me with Sag.
When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. I would say that. Like,
so this is funny to me because I feel like, what's the Gemini? That's air, isn't it? That's not fire.
I'm not too sure.
I think they're air.
Got two sides to them.
But they get Sagittarius and Gemini. I feel like get bad raps in the zodiac in general. I feel like they get bad raps. You know what I'm saying? And the men particularly. And then I would say like third is probably Leo. You know what I mean?
I feel like Leo gets like the worst. I feel because
I think Sag gets the worst rap. I think Sag men do get the worst rap of all.
I don't know. I feel like
because you're not the first one I've heard say that Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. That's how I.
You're not here to slander y'all Sag men.
No,
okay?
No.
Look,
not the women are great. Like
yeah.
It's it's the men Virgos and the men Sagittarius.
Yeah.
I can't even though I feel like I'm drawn to Sag because that is like my zodiac match in Aries. But like I said, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad.
Right. So not only with like zodiac signs in terms of compatibility, what about like goals, lifestyle, even like spirituality, that type of thing? Like, do you think that you need to be the same or have the same like lifestyle ideas or spiritual like focus, or should it be, you know, like opposites attract in that way? Like, okay, well, I'm this and he's that, so we work well because, you know what I'm saying, we have two different ideas of lifestyle, we have two different ideas of spirituality. Do you think that those also need to be like on the same page or compatible?
I think for long term, I think you guys both have to have similar goals and what it is that you want to do. Like I feel like even if someone might be more spiritual than the other one, I think it comes down to like respect, but in the aspect of what it is that you want long term. So it is, if it's like you want a partner that you have businesses and you want them to be supportive of you and you both want to grow, you want to be somewhere financially. You know, you might not be able to do it by yourself, but you know, with a great partner, significant other and partner, you get kind of like a 2-in-1 deal. I feel like that. As far as with like I said, spirituality, like you don't necessarily have to be spiritual for me to be with you. You just have to understand and respect that this is my spiritual belief.
What about atheists? I just have to throw it out there because, you know, some people are very different when it comes to that scenario. I will say that I've only like talked to, I've never dated a man that says that he's atheist. And it's I don't feel like,
absolutely,
I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's your belief. It's still a belief. Like at the end of the day, that's something I do want people to think about. Like the belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. So if you have a belief that there is no God or no higher power or whatever, that's still just a belief. But what do you think about that? Like, Yeah, does it still boil down to
I
respect?
think it boils down to respect,
Mm,
because at the end of the day, like when it comes to that time, when you're with somebody and this person transitions, you have to respect what it is that I want you to do
yeah,
regarding the final decision
yeah.
that needs to be made. So I think with that, like, I've dated people who were a different religion,
Mm-hmm.
from me, and you know it was never like, well, why do you do this because of this, why do you do that?
Did
I
they ever
feel like
try
it
to
has to
make
be
you like convert
convert
or
me.
anything?
No, I've never really had to deal with that.
Mm,
It's just like, this is my belief, just respect it. Like, if you do what you want to do, that's on you. But
yeah.
I don't think, I think it was different because it wasn't a sense of me wanting to be with them long term with marriage. I think it was just
Mm.
more so like dating and that. But I think that once you get to that point where you want the marriage and you want the family, I think that's when a conversation really needs to be had, and like, and say basically, is this a deal breaker for
So
you?
wait, so that's a good point because I always think it's interesting when people decide to put those non-negotiables or those deal breakers out there when you're dating someone or seeing someone. Like, when do you do that? For me, okay, so this makes me think of a scenario I had many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
young, and both of us were young at the time, probably like 19, 20. I knew a guy since we were young, 14, 15 years old, but we
Mm-hmm.
always got along. We always like kind of wanted to be together. And I don't know if other people feel that way. This might be a very weird like Capricorn thing where we
Mm-hmm.
lock in and get loyal real
Yeah.
quickly, but I can always tell when I know like we're not gonna break up. You know what I'm saying? Like I can
Yeah.
feel that. Like if we do
Mm-hmm.
this, we gonna be good because we've been good all this time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like years and years ago, he's Muslim, you
Okay.
know? And I remember before we kind of started talking about like, how we like each other, this and the third.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew in my mind and heart that we wouldn't break up. So, I asked him like, well, what do you want? What do you see?
Mm-hmm.
And he said then at like 19, 20 years old, you know, he wants to marry a Muslim woman.
Mm-hmm.
And at 19 years old, I said, I'm not ready for that. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that's who I am, and I don't want to continue this with this idea that maybe one day I'll convert. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
I want kids, he doesn't want kids. You don't want to get in a situation where it's like, okay, maybe one day he'll want children. Like, if we're both saying from the
Yeah.
very beginning we're not going to do this way, why would you continue it? So we ended it then. Like, we remained
Mm.
friends, obviously,
Yeah.
but whatever our like ideas were about moving forward in a relationship, we definitely stopped right there.
I think it
Because,
stifles the growth of the relationship when you do that, because, and that's what I'm actually
but that's what I'm
learning
saying. Like,
now.
when
I
do
have
you
to pull
say it?
back.
But when do you put out those like, this is what I know I want? Then, like, do you do this early, or do you wait until it's like we're really in love and we intertwined our families and all this stuff, and now we have this non-negotiable conversation when we're like deep in the midst of it?
I think that I think you really kind of have to gauge at how the relationship and the dynamic is going. Like, initially, like, you want to kind of just get to know that person, you
Yeah.
want to feel things out. And before, I have to say, being somebody been married for a while, like, I can say I am a relationship person,
Yes.
because I've been in long relationship, I've been married before. And I have to say, just thinking that theory, um it kind of hurt me a few times in
Mm.
situations, because it's like I'm dating someone and I'm kind of putting out there like, well, I don't want to just be messing with you like this. Like, what do you, and instead of just letting things just go,
Unfold.
it, yes,
Mm.
unfold, to see where it can go. And then people get the idea of, oh, you just want a relationship. No, I don't. But at the same time, I don't want you to just think that
Yeah,
I'm just
we
somebody you
just
can just play
chilling.
with. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
So with that respect, I think that you just really have to see what it is that you guys both want. Have fun, enjoy each other, and then when you both feel you need to have the conversation,
See,
that's when you do it. And it's hard to really pinpoint an exact time because your relationship with each other is that of your relationship. So what might work well for me might not work well for you. But you definitely need to have the conversation. Like I feel as though as far as like converting, I think that if it really means a lot to that person and not as much to the other one, that maybe you possibly can be open to it. Like how strong is your faith in your belief?
right.
Like are you like not open to the idea of converting, or if you're super strong in your faith. I feel like if you both are super strong in your faith,
Yeah.
then that is going to be an issue because it's constantly gonna be like this to the point where you feel as though, oh my God, how are we gonna raise these kids?
Right,
Like,
right.
are we gonna raise the kids Muslim or are we gonna raise the kids atheist?
Yeah,
Like,
whatever.
how are we
Right.
gonna do that? So I think that we jump at certain situations prematurely that it kind of affects it. So just
That's
do what
so
you
tough.
feel is
So like,
right.
because what you're making me think of in the back of my mind is that question that men say they despise, that what is this conversation? And I think, I mean, because I've definitely fallen victim of the
Yes.
what is this? I have done it. I'm sorry. All
I
right, see, we raise our hand. And I'm sorry,
Because
gentlemen.
you just want to know what it is so you can move a certain way. And ultimately,
Exactly.
that's what we women want. We don't want it just to be like,
Well, she's
well,
looking
am I
in the
your
camera on this one,
girlfriend?
so it's real. Go ahead.
So like, am I your girlfriend? Am I just some chick you dealing with? We just want to know so we don't do certain things with the expectation of assuming
Yeah.
that you are together. If we're not together, then I need to know that. So I am free to go and do certain things that's not going to look at, as being disrespectful to
you. Right.
So if we're together, I'm not going to take a date from somebody else.
Right. I
You
understand.
understand what I'm saying? But if we're not and we're friends and we're kind of messing around, but we're not established, then I should be okay to go on a date with somebody else and you shouldn't have nothing to say about that.
Right. So, yeah. So, what about the conversation of showing that you're like wife material before you're the wife? Because you know what I mean? That's something that I hear a lot of men and women kind of having a back and forth about a lot. Like, am I supposed to show this man that I'm wife material, I cook, I clean, I'm faithful, I'm, submissive and feminine and all of these things that they want you to be and you're supposed to be as a woman or however it is, or a wife one day, whatever. Like, are you supposed to give that behavior?
It's a fine line.
See what I'm saying? This is where it gets weird.
It's a fine line between letting a man see certain qualities in you and giving benefits to a man who is not ready to actually even claim you. You understand? So I have been a victim to that,
and that's what I'm saying, because they're always they're gonna receive, they're gonna love that,
they're gonna take,
they always do that,
and they're gonna take, and then
because I've been cooking meals.
Yes,
I'll bring this. I'll clean for you. Like because you're trying to show, like, oh no, I know how to be a good girl, wife, whatever, girlfriend thing. You want to show them that, but at the same time, I've definitely been victim to, like, I'm doing all this wifey stuff, but yet and still I don't have the title. And is it like, are you supposed to show that before you get the title so you can get the title? Or
no, I think that once you do that too much, it's not as much value in him actually deciding on, let me go ahead and lock this in.
So now,
like, you have to have some type of balance. Don't completely give everything into yourself, because then at the end of the day, when it doesn't work, we as women something that we don't do, and I'm going to admit on behalf of women, when that happens, we don't take accountability because we don't see that this man made it very clear with his words that he did not want to be in a relationship with you.
That part.
And you kept giving and you kept giving and kept giving. And what happens when you keep giving and giving and giving? People are going to keep taking. They're going to keep taking and they can keep taking because it benefits them. And then at some point, it's like you realize, oh my God, I did all this for you. And then he turns around and say, I didn't ask you to do the things. Like, it's wrong that I didn't stop you.
I didn't stop you. It's like they're leading you on. They're like, they want like a pretend wife, kind of. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's like, but I don't really want a wife. Like,
women, sometimes you got to say no.
Yeah.
You have to say no. Yeah. Say no to them, you know, because
I think that's our fear of like that lack mentality of like, okay, well, if I don't do this, he's not gonna look at me in this way, so I won't even be in like in the running to be a wife for this particular man. What about sex? Because I feel like that's the same. Yeah, that's the same conversation. You know, when are you supposed to have sex then? Because, you know, they tell you, like, you know, why buy the cow if you get the milk for free?
Let me tell you something on that.
Isn't that kind of the same thing or no?
Because you know what? People use sex as a weapon. People use sex as a weapon. Women in marriages and relationships, they use it as a weapon because they know the man want it, and then they will withhold it. And that's the worst thing you can do is just use it as a weapon. I just don't want to be with a man that I feel like I gotta withhold. Like, that's whack as hell to me. If I got a husband, honey, let me tell you why. That's the reason I want a fucking husband. You hit your 40s,
so I can be like, son, we have sex now all the time. Like, wake up, turn over, and let's do it. That is why that's like one of the main reasons why I want a husband. Yes, because
you want to do it
I'm tired of these condoms. Okay, that's one. And then two, also like, like, I want freedom to be in love and have sex, like, make love with a man whenever. Like, you're my husband, come here. Oh, you want me? Let's go. Like, I want that. I want that more than anything. But at the same time, it's like, again, back to before you get to that place, like, when or how do you make those decisions? You know, like, what's the best way to go about the sexual relationship at that point? You know, because again, like, am I giving this up too fast? Am I not doing it? You know, like, I don't know. I another part of the conversation is, and this was on my, like, there's a lot of comments about the last conversation we had here on Unapologetic News, but it's like, when do you differentiate between, like, this is a partner that we're gonna move forward with, so it's okay to do these, you know, we're gonna come together and work together, we're gonna, you know, we're able to have sex now, and it's like, okay, and then when do you not? Like, this is all, I guess, kind of the same question, is like, how do you determine when that's okay? Like, when you should?
I feel like when you both are ready. I mean, you're adults, so it's like you can be ready the first date. I'm not ashamed to say, like, you been a first date girl before?
You been a first date lady?
I was a first date lady, and he ended up marrying me.
See, so you know what I mean? She is the passionologist. She is the passionologist.
So it's just like, I don't feel as though having sex on the first date is like a terrible thing.
It's a deal breaker.
Like, I don't think it is. Like, at the end of the day, a man is gonna respect you whether you sleep with him or not. You know, you can make him wait 90 days.
Yeah.
And he still don't want to be with you because of the type of woman that you are, or the qualities that you don't possess, that he's not looking for in a relationship. Then you can sleep with him, like I did on the first date with my ex-husband, and
y'all was married
and 2 kids. Like, right. You know, it really depends, and that's why I feel as though it's just, you have to have that chemistry and that connection. When you feel it's right, I say go ahead and do it. Like,
do you believe that a man should, or both of you should, already have an idea of what you want personally? Like, think of it like this. I feel like a man that wants to be married, that wants to be in a relationship, is going to look at a woman differently, like can kind of separate that idea of like, okay, we had sex on the first date and or you know what I mean, and I respect her or something regardless, as opposed to a man that doesn't necessarily want a relationship at the moment, doesn't really want to be married at that time, and then how they'll look at the woman or interact with the woman going forward. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it depends on what you want. I feel I'm always gonna go with that. Like, what do you want? Because some men are ready to be married. Like some men want a relationship. Some men are like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't want to do that. And definitely, you know, women. I feel like we're always ready to be in a relationship. We're always ready to be married, right? Right, exactly. So, yeah, do you think that the man should be, and I'm putting it on men, so pardon me in that, like, do you think that a man should want like this again, back to this compatibility, do they want the same thing that you want, and then it's okay to have the sex in the beginning because they also want to be married? So maybe they're looking at a relationship differently, like, all right, I'm not out here just trying to have sex with this one, this one, this one, this one. It's like, all right, yeah, we have this chemistry, we got this vibe, we got this bond, but I am looking for like a long-term scenario. So just because we had sex the first time, you know what I mean? That doesn't take anything away from this woman. It just shows that she know what she want. I know what I want. We got a good vibe and connection from the start. Yeah. Let's, move from there.
I would say that it doesn't. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. It doesn't take away. It doesn't necessarily add, because the thing is, to men, sometimes sex means nothing. He can sleep with a woman that he has no intentions on making his wife. He has no intentions on making his girlfriend. He has no intentions on really being with her, and then he can sleep with a woman like and say, yeah, she the one. You understand? So
you think really that depends. You think they like from the pussy? You think that they can feel like this is the one? Is it really that?
Because
like, I mean, you got a man there for on the first night and you got married. So I don't know what the passionologist got going on over there, but I'm just saying, like,
I think, but see, sometimes before you actually have the first date, sometimes you have those conversations.
Yeah,
you have it. You just like, sometimes you don't meet that person, and then, okay, I met him today, we're gonna go on a date tomorrow. Sometimes it's like you kind of like, now sometimes men don't want their time wasted either. So it's just like, and they kind of filter through different things. So if you have those conversations, and maybe you're texting, and you're on the phone, and you kind of get a gist of what it is that you like to do, and what type of date, because it's like, that's generally what happens initially. You talk to the person, fill them out, what it is, that you want to do or whatever. And then you kind of go from there. But like I said, I think sex doesn't really always make or break that relationship as like a starting point to lay a foundation. I feel like I said, you grown. If you want to, you don't.
Yeah.
So, it really depends on the people.
I get that. So we've been talking about compatibility in general. So now obviously we have to get into sexual compatibility. So yeah, and I just recently had to put my big girl pants on and explain to a man I don't think that we're sexually compatible.
Yes.
Now why I'm not that statement. Not that statement. I don't think that was me really. That might have been putting one leg in for my big girl panties, but pulling them all the way up.
Yeah.
But the next part is like, because I've never done this before, this part here. Like, my philosophy before was like, if we don't mesh well there, then we might, like the first time, it's just over. Like, I'm good off of that. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't think we match. Because, okay, obviously, I'm not looking for like perfect sex the first time because I know, obviously, like, I don't know everything about you. You don't know everything about me yet. Like, we'll grow into things. However, I feel like with that first time, you still can feel a little like, okay, like you still get that. If you don't get that the first time, that's when I'm like, okay, yeah, this isn't gonna work. Like if we can't get the rhythm. We don't have a little moment while I look back and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Like if we don't get that the first time, whether it's the first date or the 90 days scenario.
Are you okay? Wait, let me ask you this. So, are you saying more? because I'm a passionologist, so I
Yes.
have to get really, you know,
Let's do
I
it.
gotta understand. As I'm diving into this and dissecting it. Are you talking about more the actual sexual experience,
Mm-hmm.
the
Or
technique, or you talk about the chemistry? Because I feel
Yeah.
like the chemistry of the sex, that's where it is. The technique, I feel, can be taught.
See, okay, and I think that's where, okay, thank you for clarifying that. I will say maybe it's technique. That's what I learned in this scenario. Maybe it was technique because um he was just a selfish lover. He was selfish. You know what I mean? And I don't know if other women expressed that to him
I was
before.
about to say, can I play devil's advocate?
You know,
with
so
that?
that's why I said
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
believe that I actually pulled up, like fully pulled him up. Might have got a wedgie off of building up my big girl pants in this conversation because I not only said, you know, I don't know if we're sexually compatible. I then doubled back and said, well, wait, let's have a conversation. Maybe, you know, let me explain what I mean or what I need from this, and then you tell me also what you need or what you prefer or whatever, so maybe we can work this out.
That's a conversation.
You know, and I've never, that's what I'm saying, I never did that before. He and I really were very candid and both said, like, I've never had this conversation with the person before. Like, he said it to me, like, I've never talked to a woman about, like, her particular, like, her expressing to me, like, articulately, like, what it is that she needs, and like being able to sit and listen to it. And I said to him, I was like, well, I've never explained to a man what I actually need because I think it's like the submissive thing about me that I just expect, like, oh no, you just take control. You know how to do it. And then if we have like a good chemistry, you know what I mean? And the technique, I guess, is there, then we work. But outside of that, you know, it's like that, it was such a great conversation. And we did, once we went back to the drawing bed, it was much better. He understood, and I've never gone back because normally I'll just cut you off, like, oh no, this ain't working. I'm done.
It has to be taught.
Yeah.
Great sex with partners is like it has to be really conversations. And I will say this to the women. We can't expect honesty and ask these men to be honest when we're lying to them when it comes to the bedroom.
There it is.
Like, you can't, we can't have it both ways. We can't say, oh, I want him to be honest. Tell me the truth. Tell me this, tell me this, tell me this. But then you're in the bedroom lying to this man because you're faking orgasms or you're doing this, because it's a certain way you can kind of connect and tell a person, like, you know what? I know you might be used to this sexually, but now being with me, let me teach you what it is that I like. And it all goes down to a conversation and how you say it.
Yeah.
You can't really, it's like you have to kind of like build him up, but not like completely break him down during the sex. Because you have to kind of let him know, like, okay, I don't like the little rubbing thing that you do in the clit.
Yes.
Okay, you might like that with other people. I want you to do this. And if he is open to hearing that criticism and that feedback, and then he works on it, then I believe that it's worth, okay, maybe next time it's going to be different. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's going to, sometimes it takes a few times to really get that rhythm and connection with someone technique wise. But that sexual chemistry, sometimes it's just light on
it's just right there, and we need that.
And it's there.
We love that. We need that fire flame.
Right. That fire. So I would definitely say that.
A great lesson that I learned and really, you know, expressing myself and what it is that I need. So, you know how I feel, because we've talked about this before, about adding things into the bedroom to spice it up just a bit. I've always been kind of against the toys or like the added influence of things. I mean, she has her Barney bag here, so she can definitely show us some ways to maybe spice it up if we need to. And these are more ways to have those conversations with your partner, because I mean, generally, how do you think men receive that information of like, hey, I want to add a toy, or I have, this is my little friend.
Some men that actually come ready, like, you into the toys, like, I'm with it too. And there's other men that are more traditional that says, oh, I'm not doing that, and don't bring no toys in the bedroom. Yeah. Like, let me tell you something. Sex toys enhance the sex. They don't replace it. It's not supposed to replace the sex. Two different words. I feel like we women, we need to use toys and play with toys because it allows us to really figure out who we are sexually, and the more sexually we're comfortable with ourselves, the more we can turn around and be sexually comfortable with a significant other. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like you just have to be very, very, very comfortable. So introducing sex toys in the bedroom is a great way to say, you know, hey, can we look at things together? You know, I run a business. Passion and Fantasies Unleash Pleasure Parties. And I've been doing this for 12 years. So sometimes I come in and I teach couples like, hey, like if you don't know how to bring toys in the bedroom, you don't want to go to those stores, we got to get a live demonstration next time. No. I would definitely come and bring my Barney bag, you know, and I would show toys. Like I have something now. Can I have something else? Sure, absolutely. Okay. So I have just toy I want to show you. This is very, very, oh very, my very God, popular. Not the one. The rose. The one. This is the rose. Oh wait, but that's the other one. That's the one I don't know. With the tongue. But as far as with using it as a couple, this is something great because I try to tell people that you can use this either for what I call solo play or you can use it for couples play. Right. So, if you use it for solo play, of course, use it by yourself. That vibrator already is kind of making me feel away. I'm just being real because I got rid of this thing. You don't know how many times, Anya, I've been like, call Anya and get another one. I had to get rid of it. I told you, and I did tell my partner because I've done solo play with the regular rose, and couple play a little bit with the rose. Yes. And it makes my feet hot. Girl, the bottom of my feet be hot. I be like, child, I don't know if that's right. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel that, but my feet hot. You know what? What's that? I don't know. You using all the feelings, everything, sensations everywhere in your body. I got poor circulation in my feet, and it moves everything around. I'm just letting you know, it stirs it all. But this is great because what you can do is, as a woman, like if he has you in the doggy style position, like you can just go ahead and put it right on the clit. Child, I will probably horse kick that man with my foot. You got to get off right now. And then this one right here, this is good. Like something like this one has the tongue. Yes. This one has a tongue and it has different look at no man tongue move like that. Okay. I'm sorry. That's all right. This one is a little I feel like that one is kind of trying to replace. I feel like that one's trying to replace a little bit. No, I don't. It can enhance, but that one might be trying to. It can definitely enhance, but you just you put a little lube on it, and you can use this maybe when you're performing oral on him. Like sometimes you get that. It's a way to bring that third element in the room without having to bring that third person in the room. So it's like something like this when you're giving him some head, you just might want to go ahead and put it down there and you get the sensation going down there. Like what about 69 wise? I mean, I guess he could he could help. He could he can trust me because my jaw be tired. Maybe his jaw is tongue tired. This so you can go ahead and do this. Yeah, maybe let me if you're this in real quick. Play, if you kind of want to if you're not fully there, but you kind of just like this little stimulation outside, he could just go ahead and put it back there, a little lube, and yeah, it's different ways of doing it. So it's just and what that's gonna do is it's just gonna get us women more turned on, and it's just gonna get us wetter, and it's gonna help him out. And that was the conversation that I had. Remember, I said it was interesting for me to have the conversation with the man saying okay, I need more of this or give me more of that or however it is, just to be more specific about what I need. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he would feel. You know what I mean? I feel like I think, like I said, it has to be an open conversation. Like you really have to be able to sit there and say, you know what, I'm into toys. This is part of my world. Like, let me kind of bring you into my world a little bit. And then, like I said, it's conversation. So if he's open to it, more the merrier. If he's not, you can kind of ask well, can I ask like why you aren't open to it? Maybe he had a bad experience before. Maybe he doesn't know about it, or maybe he feels as a man that he's a little insecure.
Yeah, what about
with
the size thing?
Like that.
What about size? Because you know, I know you got more stuff in
I
that in the bag.
I got Safari.
Safari.
Girl, I got Safari.
We know, girl. I seen Safari. Y'all seen Safari? Like I seen Safari. Not like I ain't seen him, but we all seen Safari. So show Safari, child. Oh, see that back? That's too much. It looks like too much. So like
Safari, he had to deal with Doc Johnson. Doc Johnson is a very well-known adult toy distribution company. So they basically did a mold
of his penis.
They
did a mold of Safari. Ooh, child. If I bring that in somewhere with a man, he gonna be mad. He gonna be like, "You're trying to replace me."
Yes, and this actually it suctions too. So you want to suction to the wall, and it vibrates. So
let me close
this can be very, very intimate and feel it. It has a real light.
Oh, I mean, this what we looking for. This be able to do this right there, just be like, sorry, okay, so I'm with the toys. No,
it's all right. But yeah, size doesn't always matter because
child, you can't say that and then bring that thing out here. Like, how you gonna say size don't matter and bring that thing? Put them away if size don't matter.
There are some men out here that are very, very well endowed, and I've been with one before, and they just thought that since they actually was so big that they even have to do anything. It's like, oh well, I'm gonna let her do all the work.
Side note, I've heard men say that about women that have like a real fat ass or like they're extra beautiful or whatever it is. They, that's just the idea that they have always been, I'm sure, told from other men or whatever, women, whoever. I've heard that as well from men, like it's whack. I mean, if you have a woman like, oh, she's so beautiful, she got this fat ass, she got this big titties, all this stuff, and then she just laid it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
She's a pillow princess. Pillow princess. They just want to sit back. Sometimes men, they want you to kind of like be underneath and kind of like basically fuck them back. So it's just like it really goes with the conversations of sexual chemistry, what it is that you like. Some men want to just completely take charge and don't want you to do anything, but then there's other men that they want you on top and they want you to work. They want you to
you have to work.
So you got to do the work. So it really comes down to the sexual chemistry. But I will firmly say, being in this business for 12 years, really realizing sex is a huge part and a huge element in a relationship. So you have to really nurture that part of the relationship, because when the sex goes, afraid, so does the relationship.
You really think that?
I really believe that.
So, I would say last but not least, can you stay with a person, or do you think it's okay to stay with a person that maybe you are great in terms of every other aspect of your life? Because I've heard this, like they're attractive to you, you get along, you work well together, like financially, all these other things, but yet at the end of the day, the sex compatibility is not really there. Like, can that work? Or, or is it vice versa? Maybe the sex is bomb, but then all those other things are not.
It really depends on the other person's needs. So if sex is really important to them and the other person isn't trying to fulfill that, then that's when infidelity steps in, because people cheat not because they don't love the person any less or they don't get what they need at home. We're sexual beings. So if you have somebody who's really into sex and they're not getting those needs met the way they want to, they're gonna go out and cheat and then come home and still have all those
other things that they want.
Yeah, so that's something that you have to have the conversation with and be prepared to kind of like see if that's going to be a deal breaker.
Do you think like an open relationship could be an option in that way?
It can be if it has to be extreme amount of trust. And you have to be very, very, secure with yourself.
Yes.
And I notice a lot of times that when people feel insecure in relationships, it's because the other person made them feel insecure.
That's right.
So you have to, as long as you make me feel secure in a relationship and we have an open relationship, then I feel like certain things can be worked on.
Yeah.
Because then again, it goes back to the same to certain men. Sometimes to men, sex is just sex and nothing more to it.
And it's never like that for women, you think?
Really? It's emotional. Some women we can be.
That's what I'm about to say, because I've definitely been.
I've hit, and I never call nobody back.
I mean, that's what I'm
I
saying.
can admit that.
I feel like there's been times that I've definitely been able to put that emotional shit to the side, because it's tougher. I will say it is a little tougher, and I don't know how men feel. I know the assumptions that we have about men, that they ain't gonna have no emotional connections to this. They just, whatever.
Some of them do.
But some of them do sometimes, and I think vice versa. It's just that stereotype as women, oh, it's all emotional. But I've definitely been able to separate before, you know what I mean? But it's normally because I don't see anything in any type of future with this person. Yeah. Like, I'm not attracted to you in that way. Like, I don't see
you just having fun.
And that was really why I had the conversation with the gentleman I was seeing about, like, how we can make this better, because I saw more for us. I felt like there was something more that we can have in this relationship. Like, I don't think it's just sex. I thought it was like we could be in a relationship. We could be however we wanted to be, married however later. But that was the main reason why I spoke up and said, like, how can we fix this? And I'm proud of myself in that way, because we definitely did. And although we're not like doing a relationship scenario now, I do think that I matured, and I'm grateful for that part, that I definitely matured.
You want growth and you want maturity out the process, and that's the thing, because we're constantly growing as people. We're constantly grow and into ourselves and more and challenge in ourselves daily. And then you also want a partner who's going to challenge you. So if you don't find any growth in a relationship, it's just like, why are you there?
Yeah. Got it. All right. Thank you so much. So our guest today, Anya the Passionologist. She's got so much more in that bag. And I want everybody to know where they can find you to get more of your products, to get more of your Passionologist wisdom. She definitely has it for you. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at Passion and Fantasies Unleash, all one word, and also on Facebook.
Yeah. And I love this smile. We ain't talked much about whatever she's doing in her relationship world right now.
Yes.
But that smile and her just brightness and glow and happiness is just it exudes. So I'm happy for you, my sister. I'm glad you're happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much.
having me.
Of course. So make sure you guys come and check us out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Unapologetic News. Oh, big shout out to Producer's Edge for letting us use this fab space today. Thanks so much. See y'all next time. Peace. Thanks, Anya.